Welcome to World Knowledge Channel. In the modern world of technology and communication, it seems that connecting with people has never been easier. However, beneath the surface of this connection lies a more complex reality. Some countries still face feelings of loneliness, not only in a personal sense but also on a national level. Loneliness here does not only refer to the absence of personal communication but can also reflect geographical remoteness, lack of international alliances, or even cultural isolation. This article will explore the top 8 countries considered the loneliest in the world, where the challenges of isolation are still an integral part of their daily lives. By looking deeper into these countries, we will see a clearer picture of the diversity and complexity of loneliness around the world. 1. South Africa, 24%. South Africa, officially the Republic of South Africa. As we know, it is a country located at the southern tip of the African continent. It borders Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Swaziland, and completely surrounds the country of Lesotho. South Africa is a member of the British Commonwealth. South Africa has a very different history from other countries in Africa, a result of early European immigration and the strategic importance of the Cape Sea route. European immigrants began arriving soon after the Dutch East India Company established a garrison at what would become Cape Town in 1652. The closure of the Suez Canal during the Six-Day War demonstrated its importance. The country has a well-developed infrastructure that has helped its rich and valuable mineral resources reach Western markets, especially during the 19th century, when competition between Cold War rivals was fierce. South Africa is a multi-ethnic country, with the largest white, Indian, and mixed-race communities in Africa. Black South Africans, who speak 9 officially recognized languages and many other dialects, make up nearly 80% of the population. 24% of adults in South Africa choose to live alone. This means that about 5 out of 20 people live alone, a very high rate. A recent study found that adults in South Africa choose to live alone because the costs of marriage and cohabitation are so high that they choose to be independent to save money. The Republic of South Africa has an area of 1,219,912 square kilometers, 24th largest in the world, with a population of 59,308,690 people in 2019, 25th in the world. Divided by average, the population density will be 36 people per square kilometer. According to the WB, South Africa's GDP income is about $6,151 person per year in 2019. 2. That is Russia, 25%. Review. Russia is a country with a long history and unique cultural and artistic traditions. Coming to Russia, you will be immersed in majestic and splendid castles, and palaces are immersed in the cheerful singing and music of the Russian people. Russia is a large country. This not only explains why Russia has many beautiful landscapes and a diverse and rich culture. It also explains why Russia has many interesting and extremely unique things. Go to Russia with Vietnam Booking's professional visa service to discover interesting pieces of Russia that few people know about. Slightly higher than South Africa, up to 1/4 of adults in Russia live alone. Russia is not a difficult country to live in, on the contrary, this is a country with a long-standing economic and cultural development, but adults still prefer to live alone than live with many others. Russia is the largest country in the world with an area of 17,075,200 square kilometers, an average population density of 8 people per square kilometer. The total population of this country according to 2019 data is 145,934,462 people. According to the WB, Russia's GDP income is about $10,743 person per year in 2019. 3. Canada, 26%. As we know, Canada is a developed country and is among the wealthiest in the world, with the 8th highest per capita income globally, and the 11th highest Human Development Index. Canada also ranks among the highest in international comparisons of education, government transparency, civil liberties, quality of life, and economic freedom. Canada has 2 official languages: English, the mother tongue of about 59% of the population, and French, the first language of about 23% of the population. About 18% of the population has more than one mother tongue other than English or French, such as Chinese, Italian, German, Polish, Spanish, Portuguese, Punjabi, Ukrainian, Arabic, Dutch, Tagalog, Egyptian, Vietnamese, Cree, Inuktitut, or other languages. One of the most peaceful and livable countries in the Americas, Canada has a very high rate of adults living alone, up to 26%. When they get tired of living alone, many of them decide to choose the path of single parents. Statistics show us that about 8/10 of such people are single mothers. Canada has an estimated population of 37,742,154 people in 2019, an area of 9,984,670 square kilometers, making it the second largest country in the world. Canada's GDP is very high. According to the World Bank, it was $45,032 per capita in 2019. 4. Next is the United States, 28%. The United States is a federal constitutional republic consisting of 50 states and one federal district. The country is located almost entirely in the Western Hemisphere with 48 continental states. The capital is Washington, D.C., the largest city is New York. The United States is located in the middle of North America, bordered by the Pacific Ocean to the west, the Atlantic Ocean to the east, Canada to the north and Mexico to the south. The state of Alaska is located in the northwest of the North American continent, bordered by Canada to the east and the Russian Federation to the west across the Bering Strait. The state of Hawaii is located in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The United States also has 14 territories, also known as insular areas, scattered in the Caribbean and Pacific Oceans. With 3.79 million square miles, 9,833,520 square kilometers, and 327.1 million people, 2018, the United States is the third or fourth largest country by total area, see geography for more details, and the third largest by population in the world. The United States has no official or representative ethnicity, but is entirely a nation of immigrants, making it one of the most ethnically diverse countries in the world, as a result of immigration from many different countries around the world. If you watch American movies, you often see that young people in this country tend to live alone when they turn 18. Statistics show that up to 28% of households in the US have only one person living, while nearly half of the country's young population is single. In large cities like Manhattan or Washington, D.C., the rate of people living alone can be up to 50%. The United States has the third largest area in the world with 9,826,630 square kilometers. The population according to 2019 statistics is 331,002,651 people, is the third most populous country today. The current GDP of the United States according to WB is $59,532 person per year 2019 data. 5. Italy, 29%. Italy is a unitary parliamentary republic in Europe. The territory of Italy extends into the central part of the Mediterranean Sea. The two largest islands are Sicily and Sardinia. The Alps limit the northern mainland of Italy, forming land borders with France, Switzerland, Austria, Slovenia, while San Marino and Vatican City are located within the republic. Italy has an area of 301,338 square kilometers, and most of it has a temperate seasonal climate and Mediterranean. Due to the shape of its territory, Italy is often likened to low stivale, boot. Italy's population is around 60 million, making it the third most populous country in the European Union. The capital of Italy is Rome, with other major metropolitan areas including Milan, Naples, and Turin. Italy is located in southern Europe, between latitudes 35 degrees and 47 degrees north and longitudes 6 degrees and 19 degrees east. Its total area is 301,230 square kilometers, of which 294,020 square kilometers is land and 7,210 square kilometers is water. To the north, Italy borders France, Switzerland, Austria, and Slovenia, and the border roughly follows the watershed of the Alps, encompassing the Po Valley and the Veneto Plain. To the south, there is the Italian peninsula and the two large islands of Sicily and Sardinia in the Mediterranean, along with several smaller islands. The sovereign states of San Marino and Vatican City are within Italy. while Campione d'Italia is an exclave of Italy within Switzerland. Italy borders the Adriatic, Adriatico, Ionian, Ionio, Tyrrhenius, Tirreno, and Ligas seas. In Italy, up to 29% of households have only one person living. This country has a majority of the population following Christianity. Recently, when the economic recession affected the whole world, adults in Italy chose to live alone to save money. Italy's area is about 301,336 square kilometers, ranked 71st in the world, and the population in 2019 was 60,461,826 people, density 194 people per square kilometer. Italy's GDP per capita in 2019 was $31,953 person per year. 6. Japan, 31%. As we know, Japan is a sovereign island nation in East Asia, located on the Pacific Ocean. This country is located on the eastern edge of the seas. Japan, East China Sea, bordered to the west by the Korean Peninsula across the Sea of Japan, to the north by the Russian Far East from the Sea of Okhotsk, and to the south by the island of Taiwan across the East China Sea. Japan is a volcanic archipelago of about 6,852 islands, mainly located in the temperate zone with 4 distinct seasons, but with different climates along the length of the country. The 5 main islands are Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, Shikoku and Okinawa, accounting for about 97% of the country's land area, but most of it is just forests and mountains with very limited mineral resources. The archipelago is divided into 47 prefectures belonging to 8 geographical regions. Japan's population is about 126 million, ranking 11th in the world, and is the second most populous island nation, concentrated mainly in the narrow coastal plains. The Japanese account for about 98.1% of the country's total population. Nearly 20 million residents live in central Tokyo, the country's unofficial capital. The Tokyo metropolitan area, which includes the capital and several surrounding prefectures and satellite cities, is the world's largest metropolis with over 35 million inhabitants and has the most urbanized economy on the planet. The vast majority of traditional Japanese people follow the indigenous Shinto religion, combined with Buddhism, which was introduced from abroad. Despite being a small land, crowded population country, Japan has up to 31% of adults living alone. This rate tends to increase over time, and Japan is currently one of the countries with the largest elderly population in the world. The area of the island nation of Japan is 379,954 square kilometers, with a population density of 335 people per square kilometer. The total population in 2019 was 126,476,461. Japan's GDP per capita in 2019 was $38,428 per person per year. 7. United Kingdom, 34%. The United Kingdom was a sovereign state that existed from 927 to 1707 in northwestern mainland Europe. At its height, the Kingdom of Great Britain extended to the southern two-thirds of Great Britain, including present-day England and Wales, and several outlying islands. It is now under the jurisdiction of England and Wales. The kingdom shares a land border with the Kingdom of Scotland to the north. The royal court was originally located in Winchester, Hampshire, but from the 12th century onwards, London became the de facto capital of the country. The Anglo-Saxons called themselves Engle or Angelsin, the original name of the Angles. The land they inhabited was called Englerland, meaning, land of the English, by Ethelwerd Latinized Anglia, from the original Anglia Vetus, the homeland of the Angles, called Angulus by Bede. The word Engleland was corrupted into England by medieval double syllables, Engleland, Engeland. The Latin name was Anglia or Anglorum land, and the Old French and Anglo-Norman name was Angleterre. 3. From the 14th century, England was used in documents to refer to the whole island. In England, there are up to 2.5 million people who own their own houses, but they live alone, accounting for 34% or more than one-third of the country's population. This ratio has been increasing since the 1990s. The area of England, excluding Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales, is 130,395 square kilometers, The population is estimated at 67,886,011 people. The GDP per capita of England is $39,720 person per year. 8. Sweden, 47%. Sweden, officially the Kingdom of Sweden, Swedish, Konungariket Sverige, is a kingdom in northern Europe bordered by Norway to the west and Finland to the northeast, connected to Denmark by the Øresund Bridge to the south, and bordered by the Baltic Sea and Kattegat Sea. With an area of 449,964 square kilometers, Sweden is the third largest country in the European Union, with a population of 10.2 million, of whom about 2.4 million were born abroad. Sweden has a low population density of 21 people per square kilometer, but is highly concentrated in the southern half of the country. About 85% of the population lives in urban areas, and this is expected to increase as urbanization continues. The capital of Sweden is Stockholm, which is also the largest city in the country. The second largest city is Göteborg with a population of around 500,000 and 900,000 in the total region. The third largest city is Malmö with a population of around 260,000 and 650,000 in the total region. Today, Sweden is a constitutional monarchy with a parliamentary system. The country's legislative power is vested in the unicameral parliament, Riksdag, of 349 members. Executive power is exercised by the government, which is chaired by the Prime Minister. Sweden is a unitary state, divided into 21 counties and 290 municipalities. Topping the list of the 8 loneliest countries in the world is Sweden, a Nordic country with a very high standard of living with good social welfare, a high education system and a peaceful life. Sweden's population is only 10,099,265, 2019 data, but 47% of them live alone. Sweden has an average area of about 449,964 square kilometers, ranked 54th in the world. The population of this country is more than 10 million people, so the population density is quite sparse, about 20 people per square kilometer. According to WB data, Sweden has a GDP per capita in the top 11 in the world today, at $53,442 person per year in 2019. Sweden 47%. Exploring the list of the top 8 loneliest countries in the world has brought an insight into isolation from many different perspectives. Each country on this list has its own separate story of isolation, from isolated geography, unique culture, to complex international relations. However, regardless of the reason, a country's loneliness is not only a challenge but also a motivation for them to seek new ways to connect with the world around them. Understanding this loneliness also encourages us to be more aware of the value of connection and integration in an increasingly globalized world. Although the gap is still there, the ability to overcome isolation to build bridges to the international community is a testament to the resilient spirit and extremely strong adaptability of humans. If you find the video useful, please share it with more people and subscribe to the channel. Like, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and see you in the next video.